Lily lived in a world of vibrant colors. Her laughter echoed like wind chimes, light and breezy. Her heart, as pure as the morning dew, overflowed with kindness. She saw beauty in everything, from the chirping of birds to the gentle sway of flowers in the summer breeze. Lily's world was a canvas painted with the bright, joyful hues of her own optimistic spirit. Lily's days were filled with simple joys. She spent her mornings tending to her garden, coaxing life into her flowers with a gentle touch and a song on her lips. Afternoons were for painting, her brushstrokes mirroring the vibrant hues of her inner world. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across her little town, Lily would settle down with a book, her heart brimming with the stories of love, adventure, and hope. Lily believed in the goodness of the world, in the power of love, and the magic of shared moments. She carried this belief in her heart, radiating warmth and joy to everyone she met. People were drawn to her infectious laughter, her genuine warmth, and her unwavering belief in the good in everyone. Lily, with her heart full of sunshine, was a beacon of light in her own little world. Lily's world was not a solitary one. She had found a friend, a kindred spirit named Alex, who shared her love for life and her infectious zest for living. They spent their days exploring hidden meadows, sharing secrets whispered under starlit skies, and building sandcastle dreams on the shores of their childhood. Their laughter mingled with the rustling leaves, their joy as boundless as the endless sky. Alex was everything Lily had ever dreamed of. He was kind, gentle, and his eyes held the same spark of mischief that danced in her own. They understood each other, their souls resonating with a shared love for the simple joys of life. With Alex by her side, Lily's world seemed to shimmer with an even brighter light, her laughter echoing with an even deeper joy. Their bond deepened with each passing day, their friendship blossoming into a love as radiant as the sunflowers that graced Lily's garden. They were two halves of a whole, their hearts beating in sync with the rhythm of their shared dreams. Lily, bathed in the warm glow of love, felt like she was living in a fairy tale, her world a canvas painted with the vibrant hues of her own happiness. Life, however, has a way of changing the landscape of our hearts. Just as the sunniest days can be interrupted by sudden storms, Lily's world, too, began to experience a shift. The vibrant colors that had once defined her reality started to fade, replaced by a dull ache that settled deep within her. The change was subtle at first, a whisper in the wind that carried a hint of unease. Lily noticed a shift in Alex, a distance in his eyes, a hesitation in his touch. The laughter they once shared now seemed strained, the silences between them heavy with unspoken words. The colors of their joy began to bleed into a dull gray, the vibrancy of their shared world slowly dimming. Lily, with her heart still full of hope, tried to ignore the growing chasm between them. She clung to the memories of their shared laughter, the warmth of his embrace, the echoes of their joy. She told herself it was just a phase, a temporary cloud obscuring the sun of their love. But deep down a seed of doubt had been planted, a nagging worry that whispered of a love lost. The truth, when it finally unraveled, was a cruel blade that pierced Lily's heart. The boy she loved, the boy who had painted her world with the colors of joy, had betrayed her trust, his actions shattering the foundation of their love. The pain was unbearable, a raw wound that bled into every corner of her being. Lily's world, once a vibrant tapestry of joy and love, now lay in ruins. The colors that had once defined her reality were replaced by the dark hues of betrayal and heartbreak. The laughter that had once echoed through her days now died in her throat, choked by the lump of sorrow that had taken root in her heart. The pain of betrayal was a heavy cloak that Lily carried on her shoulders. It weighed her down, suffocating her spirit, stealing the light from her eyes. She retreated from the world, seeking solace in the solitude of her own company. Her once vibrant garden wilted under her neglect, the flowers mirroring the state of her own broken heart. Lily, once the epitome of joy and optimism, became a shadow of her former self. She withdrew from the world, seeking refuge in the solitude of her own pain. Her days were spent lost in memories, replaying the moments of their shared happiness, torturing herself with the what-ifs and whys of a love lost. The world, once so full of color and promise, now seemed bleak and unforgiving. The laughter of children grated on her nerves. The sight of couples holding hands brought fresh waves of pain crashing down on her. Lily, once so full of life, now felt like a wilted flower, her petals drooping under the weight of her own sorrow. The warmth and kindness that had once radiated from her were replaced by a coldness, a protective barrier she had erected around her heart to shield it from further pain. She had lost her faith in love, in the goodness of people, in the magic of shared moments. Lily, once a beacon of light, had retreated into the darkness of her own heartbreak. Lily's self-imposed exile couldn't last forever. The world, despite its capacity for pain, had a way of nudging its inhabitants back towards the light. And so it was with Lily. A chance encounter, a simple act of kindness, rekindled a spark of hope in her wounded heart. It began with a loaf of bread, the scent of yeast and warmth filling Lily's lonely kitchen. As she kneaded the dough, memories of her grandmother, her gentle hands guiding Lily's own, flooded her mind. Her grandmother, a woman who had known her share of heartbreak, had always said, "Kindness, my dear, is a light that shines brightest in the darkest of times." Driven by a sudden impulse, Lily decided to share her bread with Mrs. Peterson, her elderly neighbor who had recently lost her husband. The act of baking, of sharing, brought a flicker of warmth to Lily's heart, a sense of purpose that had been missing from her life. As she handed Mrs. Peterson the warm loaf, a hesitant smile touched Lily's lips, the first genuine smile she had felt in weeks. Mrs. Peterson's gratitude, her tear-filled eyes reflecting the warmth of Lily's gesture, ignited a spark within Lily's soul. It was a small act, a simple loaf of bread, yet it had the power to cut through the darkness that had enveloped her heart. Lily realized that even in the midst of her own pain, she still had the capacity to bring joy to others. Encouraged by this newfound purpose, Lily began to extend her kindness beyond her own doorstep. She volunteered at a local animal shelter. Her gentle touch soothed